Hello everyone, today I wanted to make a video about my cat. This is a one-off and the usual content will continue Friday, but I think enough people are interested in viewing a cat video. I mean, after all, this is the internet. So this is Count. He is a blackish Maine Coon cat. He is about 2.5 years old and he's been with me since he was a kitten. He is a chunky boy at almost 7 kilograms and he has a huge tail. His name comes from his coat color, his sharp teeth and his ears that look like a bat. And so basically Dracula. And seriously, the ears are ridiculously large when he was a kitten. You can see a picture of him right now. And his fur is also worthy of account, so that helps too. He is a very playful kitty, and ever since he was a little kitten, he enjoyed playing fetch, and he also enjoys chasing whatever toy I give him. And even on his first day here, he started playing with some toys, so he showed how playful he was. He sometimes runs around the apartment like a lunatic, destroying the apartment, which is fun. But nowadays he is mostly calm and he still plays a lot, but less like a lunatic, which is nice. He is also a very loving cat and he loves being pet by me and only by me. But he is friendly towards other people too. He just doesn't let them touch him, and that's his thing. He also follows me around the apartment and gets pissed when I close the door on him. You can probably hear him in many of my videos in the background as a result. He also gets along with other cats as well, like my cousin's cat Leo, which used to visit him often when they were away. It doesn't happen as often nowadays, probably because of the pandemic, but still they used to get along and they still get along. And I want to get him a permanent friend someday, but I need to be able to take care of 2 cats before I do that. So donate to the cat fund on my Patreon page. I'm kidding, obviously, but yeah. Plus, there's a chance of me moving internationally this summer. So no matter what happens, I won't get another cat until that happens or it is cancelled. Speaking of moving internationally or flying, that's the best segue I could come up with. Count loves to watch birds. It's one of his favorite hobbies, and he also chirps at them. And in fact, he's a very vocal cat. Ever since he was a little kitten, he shouted at bugs he can't reach. And otherwise thrilled at me for demanding something or just to be pet. And his thrills are much louder than you might expect. You can often hear them in the next room. I don't know how he thrills that loud, but it's cute still. And just like any other cat, he loves to sleep, but often on his back at really uncomfortable looking positions. I guess his fur acts like a mattress or something, but still they look really uncomfortable, but yet he's still somehow comfortable. But unfortunately, he wasn't as happy of a cat as he is nowadays. As I said before, I got him when he was about 3 months old, and actually he was really sick. I took him to the vet the first day and she said he was perfectly healthy, and she later explained this by saying, "I thought you were lying." But anyway, the cat was 3 months old and he only weighed about 500 grams, which if you know anything about kitten development, you know that this is a really low weight for a cat that age. And he is a Maine Coon, so which is one of the largest cat breeds out there, so he should have been even heavier at about 2 kilograms. So this should have been a warning flag about him being sick. Well, because of that vet and because of my lack of knowledge, I didn't know at the very first day, but actually about a week after I discovered that he was sick. He started coughing a lot and he was really lethargic, so I took him to the vet again. and she said he caught cold, which is technically true, but the problem was much worse. And about after 2 weeks of antibiotics, she started something called Zilexis, which supports the immune system, but in reality, based on what I've heard and based on my experience, it just really doesn't do anything other than make the cat look energetic again for a week or so, and then the same shit happens again. So yeah, anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but after 2 weeks of unsuccessful antibiotic therapy there and his coughs getting worse, he refusing to take a chest x-ray, and the thing he said about me lying at the first, which is around this, I decided to take him to another vet. And that second vet, after doing the routine checks, immediately recommended a chest x-ray, and surprise surprise, of course his lungs were in bad shape, and he prescribed stronger antibiotics and prednisolone to help him. And he criticized the other vet for using Zilexis here, which I'm mentioning this because yeah, you'll see in a bit. But yeah, these antibiotics did help for a while, but eventually count got way worse and he had to stay in the ER with ventilators and stuff like that. He barely survived. And remember, this was back when he was about 4 or 5 months old, something like that, and he weighed like 1.5 kilograms, which is like really low still. So yeah, he was really weak. So he got out of ER, more antibiotics, and the prednisolone got worse and stayed in the ER again, this time 2 days instead of 1. And at this point I knew the treatment wasn't working here either. I probably trusted this vet a bit too much because he looked like he knew what he was doing, but I realized he didn't when he recommended Zilexis, the thing he criticized the other vet for using. So at this point I knew he was getting desperate and trying anything, just like the other vet. And yeah, I knew he wasn't going to be helpful, so I took him to yet another vet, this time in a veterinary hospital. And this is finally when things started to look good. The vet there was young, but she knew what she was doing and recommended a good treatment plan. It involved antibiotic pills and vitamin pills, but more importantly, medicine delivered using a nebulizer, so directly to his lungs. I think they included asthma medicine, might have been Ventolin, antibiotics and steroids, and some water in there as well. I had to build a box for this back then after the garbage method didn't work well, and I actually have a video about this on the channel. Obviously he didn't like the box at first, which I don't blame him, but eventually he actually started jumping in the box when it was time, so I think he realized that the box was helping him. The treatment took about 2 months after starting doing this, but he was finally well, and he was mostly healed other than some scars in his lungs, which will be left there probably forever, but more importantly he was energetic again. Only thing that was noticeable in the x-rays was his heart was a bit large, so that had to be examined by a pet cardiologist. Turns out, yes, the heart was large, but examining it with the ultrasound, it looks like it was healthy, just a bit large. So yeah, he just told me a few things I should look out for, and just said he was okay, so it worked out. And that's mostly the end of his vet adventures, other than his neutering, which was also a bit complicated because of cryptorchidism, probably because he was underdeveloped. Overall, getting him well took about 7 months, and he remained somewhat underdeveloped as a result. I think he's now grown enough, but his growth was delayed, so I don't know if he's as big as he should have been right now, but I don't know. But at least he's healthy now, and as far as I can tell, happy. He's been through a lot, so this is probably the best possible outcome, so everything eventually worked out. Well, except for my bank account, but this was definitely worth it. It's good to see him healthy and happy again. So this is the end of this video. This was a bit unusual for the channel, but well, I had to make a video about him. More regular content is coming pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And if you enjoy cats, also stay tuned for the same videos, because he often reminds you of his existence by meowing every time I start talking. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like down below, and thanks for watching.